Good evening, everyone. We will begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for the permission and protection granted us while participating today in God's divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito, Prayer of Heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Taka amahara ni kamsumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no imuka no tachi hana no. Odono ahagi harani. Isogi harai tamo utoki ni narimaseru. Haraido no o kami tachi moro moro no maga koto tsumi kegare o harai tama e kiyome tama e toma o sukoto no yoshio amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya o yorozu no kami tachi tomoni ame no fuchi koma no mimi furi tatete Kikoshi meseto kashiko mimu maosu. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya mushi no kami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya mushi no kami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Kanagara tamachi haemase. Kanagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei. May God and Meishu-sama bless you. Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Happiness. When people cannot detach themselves from greedy and unlimited material desire, they ruin themselves in spirit and body. How tragic it is. Many are blinded by greedy and temporal pleasures, losing sight of the true path to eternal happiness. Freedom of choice is given to everyone. Through our thoughts, we can create heaven or hell. Two of our most common and characteristically human weaknesses are ego and attachment. In fact, they are so closely related they could be considered twins. Careful observation of any complicated unsolved problem reveals that its reason almost always lies in these twins. For example, some ego driven public officials with inordinate attachments to their offices are eventually forced to quit in disgrace. When business people place the pursuit of money and self profit before the good of their company and fellow workers, they often lose their fortune in the long run. The over possessiveness of one lover can actually cause the other to seek an end to the relationship. Individuals who make those around them suffer as a result of being obstinate and egocentric eventually bring about suffering for themselves as well. A major goal of religion is to help us rid ourselves of our overindulgent egos and extreme attachments. Ever since I learned this truth and began putting it into practice, I have freed myself from a great deal of mental suffering. And in every area of life, I have experienced good results. The adage, do not worry about either the past or the future, is wise indeed. Thank you all very much for attending this evening service and praying together for our loved ones, for our ancestors, and for all those who are going through many kinds of purification, especially during these times to pray for world peace. There is a faith experience from Armando Francisco do Rio Pérez. He's from Vila Real Johrei Group, Portugal. And I would like to share that with you. And Armando, a few years ago, he immigrated to Luxembourg, where he worked for 10 years. It was a very difficult period. He had a lot of difficulty in adapting to that country, customs, and especially to adapt to the French language. He began making so called friends, going out at night, drinking lots of alcoholic drinks to relieve stress, have fun, etc. These started on the weekends, but as time went by, he began going out practically every day. Thus, he would arrive at home at dawn, often went straight to work or stopped by home just to shower and change clothes. With this behavior, he had no income at work, and consequently, he lost many jobs. 10 years after he moved to Luxembourg, his brothers and his wife, who lived in Chaves, Portugal, realizing his dire situation, asked Armando to return home, hoping that with his family, with more support, he could get out of the life he led. He indeed returned to Chaves, but however, regrettably, he continued with the same behavior, with a tendency to worsen, to the point of reaching the verge of divorce. He had already known our church in Brazil. In an opportunity, he was there through his cousins, who are members in Rio de Janeiro. Completely desperate, he remembered the church again and called his cousins, who advised him to seek help at the Johrei group closest to where he lives, which is Vila Real. He got in touch with the person in charge and started going 3 to 4 times a week from Chaves to Vila Real to receive Johrei. As the weeks went by and receiving Johrei, he gradually stopped feeling that strong urge to go out and drink. It was a big miracle. After 24 years of heavily drinking, he doesn't have any cravings anymore. He feels very calm, is more tolerant with those around him, and today he has a lot of gratitude for his wife, who with great love and patience supported and assisted him during all these years. With his life saved, as an expression of gratitude, he was blessed to receive the sacred focal point, the Ohikari, to also be useful in helping others. During the membership course, he was guided to carry out our basic practices of faith. Starting in November, he began to dedicate at the headquarters every month, from Chaves City to headquarters. It's a 4-hour trip, which he goes with great gratitude because he feels a stronger light there than in the Johrei group. At the Johrei Center in Vila Real, he continues to dedicate 3 times a week. He participates in the monthly appreciations and ancestors service. He materializes his monthly and daily monetary offerings of gratitude and has begun the registration of his ancestors in the Sorei Saishi enshrinement of spirits. Amando wants to continue having permission to dedicate every month at their headquarters, which is Meishu-sama's home in Portugal. And he aims to receive the consecrated picture of Meishu-sama in his home. He's very grateful to God and Meishu-sama, his ancestors, his wife, his cousins who guided him to our church, and the minister who received him with all love and affection. With this experience, I'd like to thank you very much for attending this evening service. And tomorrow at 10 a.m., we will have our morning service, and you are all invited to attend here in person or remotely online. Also, a reminder that this coming Sunday is our monthly appreciation and ancestral service. Thank you all very much. This brings to a conclusion our evening service. Thank you everyone for joining us. We wish you a very blessed evening.